Now, all athletes have a hard time letting the sport go, so most go into coaching to keep that competitive side in their lives. For former Robert E. Lee Red Raider Chad Reese, he's taken a very different path to fulfill his dream of playing football and coaching. With our special report, here's CBS 19's Jeff Schaefer.
A mentor can come from any number of places, each with his or her own unique experiences to share. Chad Reese's journey starts in Tyler. Playing high school football for Robert E. Lee, Reese was an All-State honorable mention and earned a scholarship to continue his career well north of Texas at the University of Wyoming.
It was a great opportunity for me to grow up, being 18 hours away. You can't just hop in the car and come home, and being able to come in as a true freshman and contribute, that was pivotal in my development, so it was great.
Picked off by Chad Reese. But last November, with changes on the horizon at Wyoming, Reese decided to leave Laramie for a school closer to home, enrolling at the University of North Texas in January. The transfer process caused financial issues for Reese, including an inability to buy books for classes. Chad's academics suffered, which led to the football team cutting him loose.
That was probably one of the toughest things that I've been through in my life, because it made me feel like for the first time someone was telling me that they didn't want me. I think that I really realized that football wasn't everything.
After North Texas, Chad had plans to leave football behind and become an actor. He returned home to Tyler to stay with his mother, a move that led him back to the gridiron at his high school alma mater.
A couple days go by. She said, well, son, you know you're not staying here if you ain't working. And so, she said, I don't know what you're going to do, but you're going to have to work. And so, me not wanting to actually go get a real job, I called Coach Piskey.
That's Lee head football coach Daryl Piskey, who brought Chad onto his coaching staff as an assistant.
It's time to be a big dog now. So hit. Just be physical. You're not translating.
Now, Reese serves as a coach, role model, and mentor for students who are where he was just a few years ago.
We'll grow up, all right?
It helps the kids relate to, here's a guy pretty close to my age that's got this much knowledge of the game. We hammer them all the time about the academics and what the college is looking for and all that. Well, now he's there and he's our witness that, hey, they're not making this stuff up.
He always tells us, I've been in y'all place before, because he's just like us. He's young. When we make a big play, he'd be the first one in my face. So, I mean, I like that. That's my man right there.
These guys were very receptive to me. The kids were, they're eager to learn. They come to me constantly just wanting to get better. For me, that was like, wow, this may be what I'm supposed to do. I sleep well over I can win this kid or if I lose this kid.
Listening to Chad talk about his role on the Red Raider football team, you can tell coaching is in his future, but next fall, his football career will take a turn in a completely different direction. We'll explain later this hour right here on CBS 19.
All right, thank you, Jeff. Of course, you don't want to miss that at 6:50, part 2 of our special report. In part 1 of our special report on Robert E. Lee assistant coach Chad Reese, we went back in time to his days as a star player for the Red Raiders and his journey to playing college football. Things did not work out, so he's back at Lee coaching, but his football career is far from over. Notice I said football career, not coaching. Here's Jeff Schaefer with part 2.
As a Robert E. Lee Red Raider who played Division I football, Chad Reese can use his own experience to motivate the players he coaches. One way is by referencing this wall in the Lee Fieldhouse, which displays photos of Red Raiders who made it to the college level, including his own.
He always kids with his head. Yeah, so y'all gonna get up on the wall, y'all gonna get some names in here. He was like, but that's what he's basically doing. He's bringing in that young feeling that you can do anything.
In a way, Chad is in those players' shoes again. After nearly walking away from the game of football altogether, he now plans to return to the University of Wyoming as a walk-on and play for the Cowboys again next fall.
One of my teammates went and told one of the coaches that I was interested in coming back, and next thing I know, I got a phone call from him. And once I had that opportunity to sit down and talk to that coach and see that they were, knew that I was sincere, first of all, and understood that I wasn't a troubled kid, and that's not the reason why I left. They believed me, and they said, well, we're going to give you a chance to come back. Ultimately, that's all I wanted.
When Chad does return to the field, his experience as a coach should pay dividends.
Even as a player, I'm like, oh, okay, well, now I can see why you would take this angle to the football. Oh, okay, now I can see what my coaches were trying to tell me to do.
Until he returns to Wyoming, Chad continues to not only coach at Lee, but work as a life skills assistant at his alma mater, all while taking college courses and training for his return to the playing field. Willie Williams coached Chad during his high school days and now coaches alongside his former player. He says that as daunting as that workload may be, Chad can handle it.
It's impressive but not surprising with it being Chad because, like I said, he takes on a ton of things and is able to be very successful doing it all.
Doing these things at 21 years old, you don't hear very many people doing that, and it's nobody but God.
While Chad couldn't stay away from playing football, he likewise says his coaching career is far from over.
The bug bit me, man. That coaching bug bit me.
Here we go. Y'all know the hits and goals coming. You better pick a side and keep him there.
He was a great player. Kind of for us was a coach on the field. I thought with him coming up through school that if he chose to go into this profession, that I thought he'd be a great coach.
He's got a goal someday to be the head coach of the Robert E. Lee Red Raiders, so that's exciting to have a kid that young that's already got the goal in mind.
Once Coach Piskey's done with the reins, hopefully he'll give me a good recommendation. I tell you what, if I could get this job, I wouldn't want to go anywhere else. I can promise you that.
Jeff Schaefer, CBS 19.
All right, Jeff, and good luck to Chad in his journey back to playing college football.